a personality who's presently working as advisor and head of Great Eastern Institute of Maritime Studies. Previous to this, he served as Vice President heading Training and Assessment Department at JESCO, India's largest private sector shipping company, having joined there in December 2006. His show career started with Volume Limited in London in 1998 as technical superintendent and shifted to India, joining SR Shipping as technical head tankers. He joined Anglo-Eastern Shipping Management in India as a GM in 2005 and was promoted to the post of the Fleet Director and headed the India Technical Office till December 2006, post which he joined JESCO. Besides shipping, he is also passionate about cricket and has played club cricket both in Mumbai and London. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and let us welcome Mr. David Birwadkar to share his thoughts with us.
Okay. Respected dignitaries, young cadets, ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you, Shaukat, for inviting me. As usual, a very, very well organized event. We are in the last part, so probably people will amble in for the end part. You have put me in the spot by giving me the most difficult task. Imagine we are in Goa. Imagine it's a beach resort. Imagine it is Saturday. Imagine it's the afternoon, just after I have heavy lunch. And what is the topic? Renewable energy. So, I'll try to do my best. Let's see how it goes. Let's see. I'll have to discuss it separately or a separate forum with him. So the topic is, of course, renewable energy. So, yeah, that's with me only. Doesn't happen. Stuck. Right side, right? Even the pointer refuses to work at this time.
We'll assist you, sir, go to the next screen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so with growing concerns over environmental degradation and climate changes, the shipping industry is under increasing pressure to reduce its environmental impact. This has led to a development of green port initiatives in the field of maritime transport and logistics, which are aimed to promote sustainable practices and reduce the environmental footprint of ports and their operations. One of the key strategies for achieving the goal is the use of renewable energy technologies. With each passing day, new achievements in technology and understanding brings us closer to unlocking the full potential of marine renewable energy. So the primary objectives for its deploying renewable energy in Indian maritime industry is to advance economic development, improve energy security, improve access to energy, and mitigate climate change. Sustainable development is possible by use of sustainable energy by ensuring access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for citizens. Strong government support and the increasing opportune economic situation have pushed India to be one of the top leaders in the world's most attractive renewable energy markets. The government has designed policies, programs, and a liberal environment to attract foreign investments to ramp up the country in the renewable energy market at a rapid rate. So what are the various types of renewable energy possible to use in the maritime industry? Wind, Prior to the advent of the steam engine, sails monopolized the high seas, propelling relatively small ships with large crew complements. After all, wind is a readily available, if fluctuating, renewable energy source that is well understood. From traditional sails to sophisticated kites, soft sails, suction wings, wing sails, and rotor systems, wind technology is blossoming. Harnessing the gusts with grace, wind power offers a slew of advantages for sea freight. New high-tech wind propulsion can be fitted to existing ships to cut fuel use, supplying between 10 to 90% of a ship's energy demand, depending on where in the ocean they are and which weather permits them to harness the wind. Weather routing can further optimize the voyage. As enticing as it sounds, wind power isn't all smooth sailing. For wind-assisted technology to become widespread, the cost must be in line with the fuel savings they provide. The next is, of course, bioenergy. Biofuels are currently the most relevant alternative for replacing or blending with fossil fuel in the transport sector. Yet, experience with their use and the scale of their applications in the shipping sector is still very, very nascent and minimal. Biofuels can be used in the sector in the forms of biodiesel, bioethanol, biomethane, straight vegetable oil, dimethyl ether, pyrolysis oil, hydrogenated vegetable oil, or maybe some other derivatives. Although biofuels share in the shipping sector's energy mix is small and will most likely remain so in the short to medium term future, over the long run, they will have a substantial role to play. Next is wave energy. Current wave power plants suggest that an entirely new design concept will be needed to be readily applicable in the shipping sector's energy needs. The small number of developers in this field are attempting to learn from biology and mimic the manner in which dolphins and pelagic fish use muscle energy in marine environments. The ambitious ES or cell car carrier, which means environmentally sound, by Wallenius Wilhelmsen Logistics, proposes use of a series of 12 underwater flaps, which like fins, modeled on the tail movements of Irrawaddy dolphins to harness and convert wave energy in the ocean to create propulsion and generate electricity and hydraulic power for the ship systems. Another of the renewable energy is solar energy. Transiting beyond the use of photosynthesis, solar energy is making waves in maritime travel. Recent advances in solar cell and photovoltaic module technologies have led to solar power becoming a cost-effective fuel reduction option on pleasure boats, ferries, and tourist vessels. Marine solar panels will deck the roofs of some of the large ships such as car carriers, bulk carriers, passenger ships, etc. From cutting costs to harmful gas emissions, solar energy shines bright with benefits for the shipping sector, but a lot more needs to be done in research so to know where it will lead us. The final one which I'm going to speak about is, of course, probably the most popular one, which the government of India is encouraging. I think Padmini also spoke about it. So that's something which is getting more relevant apart from the biofuels. There are 4 production pathways for green hydrogen: electrolysis using renewable electricity, direct solar hydrogen production, biomass fermentation, and thermochemical biomass conversion. With almost no well-to-tank emissions, the use of green hydrogen could offer as much as a 96% reduction in GHG emissions compared to MGO and heavy fuel oil. In case hydrogen gas is released into the atmosphere, it has an indirect GHG impact, but the lower GHG emissions created when hydrogen replaces conventional fuels outweighs the adverse effects of hydrogen leaks. The storage of hydrogen is obviously an obstacle. Compressed gas storage is the most common option to store hydrogen, suffering, however, from low storage density even when high storage pressures are used. Also, as storage pressure increases, so does the associated cost of the materials and the safety risk. High pressures also introduce challenges associated with reliable compression, handling, and additional piping. With multiple connections, the inherent regulatory restrictions also add to the cost. It is therefore difficult to see this storage solution being adopted soon on the bigger ships. But a lot of research is being done and technology evolution is rapid in this kind of option to be used on the ships. We hear the government encouraging the use of green hydrogen a lot in the various maritime sectors, including the ports. So I have a brief on that, so which I will share with you all. The government of India has come up with guidelines for undertaking pilot projects for using green hydrogen in the shipping sector. The guidelines named Scheme Guidelines for Implementation of Pilot Projects for Use of Green Hydrogen in the Shipping Sector has been issued by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy on 1st of February, only recently in 2024, under the Nautical Green Hydrogen Mission. Two areas have been identified as thrust areas under the pilot projects. These are retrofitting of existing ships so as to enable to run on green hydrogen or its derivatives, and development of bunkering and refueling facilities in ports on international shipping lanes for fuels based on green hydrogen. The scheme can be or will be implemented soon, and probably 2025-26 is where the government is targeting. Shipping Ministry is to establish 3 Indian ports as hydrogen fuels. The Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways will develop 2 ports on India's east coast and 1 port on the west coast as hydrogen hubs. These are basically Paradip, the Deen Dayal port, and the VO Chidambaram port in Tamil Nadu. Setting up projects for energy generation from renewable energy sources, acquiring equipment to monitor environmental pollution, acquiring dust suppression systems, establishing garbage disposals for sewage treatment plant in ports and ships, and developing shore reception facilities for waste from the ships are some of the steps the government will take to make the ports carbon-free. The ministry has also begun to upgrade major ports with features such as shore-to-ship power, the use and promotion of electricity-powered port equipment, as well as storage and bunkering facilities for environmentally friendly fuels such as hydrogen and ammonia. Share of renewable energy in ports is to increase by 60%, as was mentioned by the shipping minister. My second last slide is going to talk about the challenges in marine energy development. Of course, there are several challenges we all know. We keep talking about it in several forums. So I'm not going to highlight a lot, but of course, these are technical and engineering challenges in harnessing ocean energy. High cost and economic viability of marine energy projects. I have a little bit of on each, but maybe it's probably not the right time to talk about it in details because it's just very, very nascent. We all know the problems. Environmental impacts and ecological considerations are some of that. Marine spatial planning and conflict with other ocean uses. That's also a very, very important point to consider when we talk about such developments or research. Durability and maintenance of marine energy infrastructure. That also is something which is a cause of, not a cause of concern, but which will have to be taken to mind when doing the research for using such renewable energy. And finally, outcoming regulatory and policy barriers. I mean, it's like streamlining of approval processes, providing sufficient incentives, and establishing clear standards and regulations are necessary steps towards overcoming barriers. Collaboration between governments, industry stakeholders, and environmental organizations is key because it can't be done independent of one another. The final slide is about the innovations and future trends in marine energy. So the advances in technology for efficient energy capture. The field of marine engineering is experiencing rapid technological advancements, innovations in energy capture devices such as improved wave and tidal turbines, which are enhancing their efficiency and performance. Additionally, the development of advanced control systems and grid integration technologies enable the smooth integration of marine energy into our existing energy infrastructure. The role of emerging technologies in enhancing marine energy. Emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and machine learning have the potential to revolutionize the marine energy sector. By leveraging AI algorithms and predictive modeling, we can optimize the performance and reliability of marine energy systems. These technologies enable us to better assess resource potential, predict energy yields, and improve on-site maintenance and operations. The next is, of course, integration of marine energy with other renewable sources. The potential of floating energy platforms. Predicting the future of marine energy markets. The marine energy sector is poised for substantial growth in the coming years. With increasing investments and advancements in technology, the cost effectiveness and commercial viability of marine energy are expected to improve. As the industry matures, marine energy markets will become more robust and play an increasingly significant role in our global energy transitions. And finally, developments in energy storage and grid integration. That's some of the future trend which you're expecting. Today only I read a small WhatsApp message saying Mitsui, a licensee of MAN, have successfully tried out on the 50 centimeter bore, that is a large two-stroke engine, on one of the 4 cylinders, totally with hydrogen. They ran it up to 100% load, and there was a saving of almost 95% in the emissions. The 5% was only for the pilot fuel required for the initial combustion. So I think that's a good trend, a good start, something which shows us that this is all possible with extensive research and development and extensive tests and trials. And if MAN is endorses, which is one of the largest marine engine builder, then I think we are on the right track for such renewable energy and alternate source of operating our ships. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Birwadkar. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to call upon Captain Shaukat Mukherjee to please come up and felicitate Mr. David Birwadkar. Captain Shaukat, if you're here. Oh, I don't see Captain Shaukat. Okay, then I've been... oh, he's right here. Oh, yes, he's there. Ladies and gentlemen, I must say, I also like to give David, if I may call him David Birwadkar, a round of applause, because he was here, he was the only person waiting in the conference room when nobody else came, and he was the first person to India. He was... I agree. Yes, please. I would like to call upon stage Captain Naresh Kumar. Please come up on stage to also be with us as we felicitate Mr. Birwadkar.